All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about something nuts that Benard Hopkins had to say about Jaron Ennis, Terrence Crawford, and Virgil Ortiz. Man, I'm telling you, man, people take that promotion stuff real serious. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, talking about the future of that division. Goes, in my opinion, by the name of Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. If there was a fight coming up that is similar to the big fight that everybody wants to see between Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford, it would be the fight between the Philadelphian Jaron Ennis and another Dallas native, just like Errol Spence Jr., Virgil Ortiz. And Benard Hopkins, though, who was out of Philadelphia, and the promoter of Virgil Ortiz, had something absolutely very interesting to say, in my opinion, because I didn't think that Benard Hopkins could even get it out of his mouth. But before I do that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're a longtime subscriber and supporter to the channel, thank you for continuing to watch the videos, chopping it up with me about boxing. If you are a new subscriber, or excuse me, a new viewer or new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos, which we do on a daily basis, both in the live stream format and in the video format. I think you guys will greatly enjoy a lot of the conversations that we have going on. So please take advantage of that. Support the channel will be greatly appreciated. Okay, so Benard Hopkins, who is a Hall of Fame fighter for sure, one of the best. I think he's the best middleweight fighter since the mid 1980s, since Marvin Hagler, and I think that is a pretty safe thing to say, with the exception of maybe that brief stint that Roy Jones Jr. had at middleweight. I think Benard Hopkins, over the length of his time, proved that he was the best guy there. Champion for so long, 21 title defenses of a major championship belts, was an undisputed champion in middleweight. Now he's a promoter, has been ever since, for a long time, has been working with Oscar De La Hoya at Golden Boy Promotions, and is the promoter of Virgil Ortiz, who just last weekend got a good win, looked good. Oh, excuse me, the weekend before last, looked good. Definitely one of the best prospects at 147 pounds. In the top three, I do believe he's in the very least in the top four of every major sanctioning body. So Benard Hopkins was asked about Virgil Ortiz, and he was asked about him in relation to Jaron Ennis. Now, Jaron Ennis, as I said, is out of Philadelphia, and the guy that I think is the best guy without a championship belt in that division. He, like Virgil Ortiz, is a young fighter who's also in the top four ranking by every sanctioning body. So you would think that these two guys in that weight division would be on a collision course, at least in one of the four sanctioning bodies. Now, are they in a collision course? Probably not, because of the way Golden Boy goes about protecting their fighters. And I don't really say that about a lot of fighters. Like, I don't say I think Gervonta Davis is protected, or Vasily Lomachenko is protected, or Shakur Stevenson is protected, or right, where a lot of people think just because a fight doesn't happen that those guys are being protected. But over there at Golden Boy, without a doubt, they're protecting people or preventing fights from happening, because they're trying to keep most of those fights that they have in-house. That being, Ryan Garcia, Jaime Munguia, and Virgil Ortiz primarily. I think there might be actually be another one, but of the top ones, Virgil Ortiz, Jaime Munguia, and Ryan Garcia are three fighters that they have that I don't think you're going to really see them get in with too much tough competition. But if they would let anybody do it, I do believe it would be Virgil Ortiz. So when Bernard Hopkins was asked about the fight between Virgil and Jaron Ennis, he said, basically implied that Virgil Ortiz was that Jaron Ennis cannot exchange with Virgil Ortiz, that Virgil Ortiz is a stronger, bigger puncher than Jaron Ennis, and that, he would favor Virgil Ortiz in that fight. Now, he admitted that, he's not going to be able to just go straight at Jaron Ennis, because Jaron Ennis, he said, is most definitely a problem, is very, very talented, but there are ways. He, being a Philadelphia fighter himself, Bernard Hopkins, knows how to go about fighting Philadelphia fighters, and that he believes that Virgil Ortiz can get that job done. And at the very least, Virgil Ortiz, is too big and too strong for Jaron Ennis really, to manhandle or to go, go to toe to toe with. Now, he also said that he didn't believe anybody else in that division could go toe to toe with Virgil Ortiz, either because of Virgil Ortiz's size and strength. And he said that, Virgil Ortiz also, he fights big. He's not just big, but he fights big as well. He doesn't crouch down. He uses his size, all that good stuff, right? Now, my take of that is, get out of here. And there's no other way that I can say that, man. That is just 100% you riding for your guy. I understand it. I'm not taking Bernard Hopkins very seriously in that regard, because from what I'm looking at with Virgil Ortiz, I don't think there's anything that Virgil Ortiz does as well as Jaron Ennis, including being as big or as strong as Jaron Ennis is. I don't now. To Bernard Hopkins' credit, when he was asked about Jaron Ennis and what weaknesses he had with Jaron Ennis, and he said, what about Jaron Ennis's chin? Right? A lot of people are saying that Jaron Ennis, wondering if Jaron Ennis has a chin. And Bernard Hopkins said, look, with a guy that is as talented and as skilled as Jaron Ennis, his chin is not going to be the problem, because you're not going to hit him on his chin. He's too skilled a fighter, and he's too well schooled, by his father, Bozy Ennis, who, has been a trainer and fought who has been around a long time, has trained a lot of different styles of fighters. He's too well put together, this being Jaron Ennis, too well put together a fighter for somebody to touch him on his chin, expected to, hit him on his chin and get him out of there. They're going to have to trick him, surprise him. The only way you're going to be able to knock out Jaron Ennis is if you do something to surprise him, right? Now, Bernard Hopkins did this little funny move when he talked about it, and I thought to myself, God, man, that reminds me, just the movie gave me a flashback of how he was catching Jermaine Taylor in Jermaine Taylor's fight that Jermaine Taylor won. But, to this day, I maintain permanently affected Jermaine Taylor, because, man, I'm telling you, I was ringside for that fight, and he was hitting Jermaine Taylor with some nasty, nasty overhand rights, just bomb after bomb after bomb that Jermaine Taylor stood up to, and Jermaine wound up still winning the fight. But, just like he said, tricked him into getting hit with some really, really big bombs. But Virgil Ortiz, I don't think we have to worry about it, because he's not that seasoned. Right. And I don't believe he's that skilled, at least not what I've seen. Now, I do think that it would be a good fight. And the further down the long line it goes, the more Virgil Ortiz, learns and the more experience that he gets, it could be a better fight. But, even though I think Virgil Ortiz is definitely one of the top 5 welterweights out there, I'm just not putting a lot of credibility into what Bernard Hopkins says in that regard. I just think he's just riding for his guy, because it's just my mind's eye. I just don't see it. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.